Hello, everyone. You're welcome to Accounting for Beginners. Yay! I'm so excited to be here. Do you know that if you don't understand these three types of accounts, classifying accounts will be very, very difficult when it comes to accounting. And that is why in this video, I'm going to break this down for you in a very simplified manner. That by the time we are done with this class, you would know exactly how to classify your accounts into the three major types of accounts that we have in accounting. Alrighty, let me introduce myself. My name is Judobin Gazika. I provide accounting tutorials for students that want a very good YouTube channel where they can learn accounting in very practical manner, fun and interesting. And if that sounds like you, grab yourself a cup of water and let us dive into today's topic. Da 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 da! Hey! Ah, all right, so to our viewers, this is Accounting for Beginners. We give accounting tutorials for accounting, for those writing ICANN exams, or even if you're not writing ICANN exam, you're in your secondary school level, you want to know more about accounts, and you want a channel that would guide you properly so that you understand it easily. Most times, people's problem is not that they don't know the topic, just that they find it a bit boring, and sometimes understanding it and remembering all your thoughts is a lot more difficult. But today, in this video, I make accounting very, very easy. So even if you're a beginner and you watch this video, I promise you, by the end of today's class, you would know the types of accounts that you should know as an accounting student, how to identify and how to classify them in a manner that will be very, very easy for you. I want to assure you that this is the simplest video on YouTube explaining types of accounts and everything relating to accounting in a manner that you will never forget. If that sounds like you, grab yourself a cup of water and relax because I got you. Hey! All right, I'm back. Now, let me tell you a very short story. So, I decided to open a popcorn shop in a cinema, and in that popcorn shop, I had to pay rent of 50,000 naira for a month. In addition to the rent I had to pay, I had to buy a fridge so I can put my drinks and the drinks to be cooling there so that my customer, when they come, I can give them a can of cold Coke. You know what I'm saying? For them to enjoy and suit their fruits. I also have customers walking into my shop and buying popcorn from me and saying, madam, take 10,000 naira for 4 packs of popcorn. That is the story that I have for you. Do you know that in this story we have just talked about the three types of accounts? Personal account, real account, and the last one, nominal accounts. These are the three types of accounts that we have basically in accounting. Real, nominal, stop that, madam. Sorry for that, I have to caution her. Real, nominal, and the last one is our personal account. Now, personal account. Personal accounts, just as the name suggests, personal account is the account that has to do with persons or the bank, for instance. And in businesses, the persons that you deal with are two people, either your customers that walk in to buy things from you or your suppliers that supply things to you. These are the persons you would deal with most likely in your business. Now, whenever you have transaction with these persons in your business, we are doing a tutorial and they are looking at you. I want you to be a good example to them. So please be quiet. You hear me? All right. So now, when you're dealing with persons, be with a customer, be with a supplier, those transactions are what will go under your personal account. So let me give you the scenario I gave you in our story. I said that customer walked into my shop and they bought popcorn worth 10,000 naira, not 10 million naira, 10,000 naira. Now, in that scenario, that instance I gave you, that transaction has a personal account element because persons, human beings, are the ones that came to me and they purchased popcorn worth 10,000 naira. So that is a personal account. Now, when you have a personal account, the question is who? Who here? You said that customers came. So let me streamline it to one person now. Mr. John came to my shop and bought popcorn worth 2,000 naira. Okay, Mr. John came to my popcorn shop and bought popcorn worth 2,000 naira, and he gave me 2,000 naira cash. By virtue of this transaction, this is an example of what personal account, because Mr. John is involved. Mr. John is a person. Are we together? So this is a personal account. Mr. John is a personal account example. Now, there's a rule in everything accounting. You must have heard this saying: debit debit the receiver and credit the giver. So when it comes to personal account, you're going to debit the person that receives the money, and then you credit the person that gives the money. I don't want to make this very, very fast. I don't want to bamboozle you with so many things at the same time. I just want us to be able to identify the types of accounts. When you see a transaction, you would know, is this a personal account, nominal, or real account? That is my objective for this video. And so I want to stick to that objective. In our next class, I'm going to draw what an account looks like for us so that you can see how to do the proper posting. But now I want you to know how to classify it, because I'm here to take accounting step by step just for you. So now this is a personal account because the person, human beings are involved. Mr. John is the one paying me 2,000 naira for popcorn. So this is a personal account. This is a type of personal account. Do you understand? If you understand, say yeah, 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 yeah. I know you understand. All right. Now, number 2 is the real account. Now, when you have real account, you're trying to answer the question, what do you have? So when you're given a question and you're able to answer the question, what do you have? In that scenario, that will give you an idea. That will give you clarity. Stop that, please. They're filling my board. That will give you a clarity. Leave what you're doing. Don't spoil my stuff. Now, what is it, Mister? I want to come down. Sorry about that. We have to do this video, so I have to just get it done with. So that would tell you that the real account. Anytime it has to do with what the business have. So I'll take it back to our story. So we're told that I had to buy fridge and chairs for the business. Now those purchases that I bought that ended up becoming the assets of the company, those transactions are what real accounts. The fridge that was purchased, the chair that I purchased in the story I gave you earlier room, those are instances of assets that I purchased. And because they are assets and they belong to the business. You want to come down? Okay, bye bye. Now, because they belong to the business, those are instances of what real account. So the question you should ask yourself is, if you're given a particular instance and you're seeing that assets were purchased, be it share, be it fridge, whatever it is that's an asset to the company, that will tell you that transaction fall under real accounts. Are we together? Now the rule for this, every account has a rule. And that is why after I explain the types of accounts that we have, we are going to also talk about the rule guiding those accounts. Now, the rule for that account is you have to debit what comes in and then you credit what goes out. Are we together? You debit what comes in and you credit what goes out. That is the rule that goes for what? Assets. Whenever you have like shares coming to the business or fruit coming to the business, those transactions will be recorded as debit transactions. Are we together? But when you have assets like fridge or chairs leaving the business, those transactions are what? Credits. You're going to credit the assets account as the case may be. Are we together? Yes. All right. Now the last account we have is Y, and that is the nominal account. Anytime you have a question and that question has to do with expenses, sales, income, losses, these four things, it signifies that the account you're going to open is a nominal account. Let me give you a typical example. Now, I told you that salary was paid for me to rent the shop. I paid 50,000 naira as my salary. Now, that salary that I paid will fall under what? Nominal account. Why? Because it involves money. I paid salary what? So I paid a rent, not salary. I meant to say rent. I paid a rent what? 2,000 naira for the shop I'm going to stay. Now, that expense is a nominal account because it has to do with expense. So once the transaction has to do with expense or losses or sales or income, it involves money and it has to do with expenses or losses or income or sales. It involves around those four items. That is a nominal account. So the question you should ask yourself is, why am I incurring this money? Now, if it's an expense, you know that it's because you want to pay salary, I want to pay rent. That is a nominal account. If it's also like at the end of the day, I have to buy something, maybe pay salary as a case. I'm always doing salary and rent. Sorry, let's say I have to pay for rent, for instance, an expense. So anything that has to do with expense, salary, transport, you're expending money for the business, solely for the business. Those will fall under your nominal account. So I hope we've understood the types of accounts using these three major abbreviation or three major hacks: the what, the why, and the will. Give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that break in transmission. I had to attend to one or two things. So now, whenever you have the what, or whenever you're asked a question and you're asked to classify these following questions into the appropriate account, what should come to your head is what, why, and the third one is yes, what, why, and who. In fact, the right thing is who, what, and why. When is the who is has to do with a person? Maybe a customer purchased something from you, or a supplier supplies something for you, and there's a person's name there. Maybe John or Adamu or Isioma, but there must be a name. Whenever you have such transaction involving a name, that will tell that transaction is a personal account that is going to be opened. Now, when you have things that have to do with assets, shares, laptops, fridge, things that belong to the company, those are what belongs to the business. That will fall under what? Real account. And then the last one is your why. Anything that revolves around expenses, salary, transport, rent, motor expense, as long as it has to do with expenses, those are your why questions, and that tells you that those transactions are what will fall under your nominal account. I hope we have learned a thing or two. If you have, don't forget to give the video a like, share, and subscribe. And I believe that at the end of this video, you now know how to properly classify your account without thinking. Remember, our memory hack is the who for the real account, for the personal account, the what for the real account, and the why for the nominal account. I got you. All right, signing out. See you in my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for making our time to watch this video. I believe you have learned something. See you in my next class. From me and our co-host saying bye. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna give you a very, very short, simple quiz to know if you've learned what we talked about. And the first question is this. You're told that they pay 5,000 naira for transport. I want you to help me classify these three questions into the right accounts. So the first one is that I told that they paid 5,000 naira for transport. Is that a normal account or a real account or a personal account? You should know it because you've been taught already. The second question is you bought a laptop for your business. Is that a personal account, real account, or normal account? Where will this go? Which account will you classify this transaction into? You should know because I've taught you. And the last one, you received 3,000 naira from Mr. John. Not just a customer, but let's put the customer's name. Mr. John is a customer. From a customer whose name is what? Mr. John. So is this a nominal account or a personal account or a real account? I trust you should know because I've taught you. Then let me give a very small, I won't call it essay, but a small insight. Use your who, what, and why to be able to know which account these three fall into. All right, that is a wrap for today. See you in my next class. Bye. Okay.